That white woman's real name is Ruby Baptiste. And as soon as the episode opens, we see her saving a little black boy from the grips of police brutality.
Did you molest her? Huh? Answer me, boy! What did you do to her?
Wait, officer! He didn't hurt me.
Is it a strange case? Sadly, nothing strange here. But our brother Michael Jackson already told you what they think about us. And so did Melania. Yes, Ruby Baptiste turns into full white woman chic. And I'm not talking about being light-skinned. I'm talking about full, actual, extra regular looking white woman named Hilary. After a lifetime of living while black, Ruby expeditiously made a deal with the devil without any questions asked. A real chance to get ahead at life. A doctor? A lawyer? Nope. Ruby wasted no time to jump at the opportunity to boss around silly white girls at a clothing store resembling Strawbridge's and Clothier. I know I'm not the only one who thinks that looks like Strawbridge's. I really love Ruby as the artiste, the singer. A whole lot of shaking. That was my jam. But come on now, in the 1950s, jobs were limited. And according to the US Census, most black women in the 1950s held jobs as service workers or domestic workers, even practical nurses. So for Ruby, this is definitely a step up, and Ray Charles could see that.
How does assistant manager sound to you?
Yes.
All she had to do is drink a little bit of potion and shapeshift in the most extremely painful way. I mean, that's all she had to do. Instead of her magical carriage turning into a pumpkin at midnight, no, Ruby had to experience skin-melting, bone-popping metamorphosis. And then she had the nerve to be in these Chicago streets looking like a grown-ass newborn bloody baby. Who does that? Shape-shifting, extreme, yes. Relatable, yes. Black people shape-shift all the time. We code switch at work. We change our hair that defies gravity and lay it. Guilty as charged. But in the end, Ruby realizes that she had the full freedom to do whatever she wanted. And even as a white woman, she had shackles on her mind. Take it off of her so she can dance. I just want to praise him. So she decides to exercise her rights as a white woman with something tall, black, and stiletto. And impale her racist, rapist boss over and over again. And then so elegantly sheds that white skin, stands fully melanated in front of him and tells him,
I wanted you to know that a nigger did this to you.
You shouldn't have messed with Tamara. So let's move on to the boys. After Tick basically beat the black off of his father, Montrose, we find out that not only is Montrose struggling with alcohol addiction, he's struggling with another addiction. Self-acceptance. And he is romantically entangled with Sammy. Which would explain why Sammy knew so much about his whereabouts, episode 1. And Montrose was getting comfortable in his overalls in this episode, honey. I guess fooling around with white bitches will do that to you. But he said, I'm gonna twirl at this ball with my boo, honey. Yes! And I found a very interesting link between this episode and the history of drag balls in Chicago during the 1950s. Well, let's take a look at the 1920s version of Uncle Clifford. And in this case, a black man from Chicago named Joe Hughes. In the late 1920s, he quit his job slinging fur coats and opened up a tavern on the west side of Chicago with his cousin, just like Sammy. After 10 years of being in that business, Joe saw the Chicago drag balls popping and he needed parts. So he opened up Joe's Deluxe, which quickly became the mecca for female impersonators. Back in the day, they used to call the girls female impersonators. And Joe's Deluxe was one of the most popular gay-friendly clubs in Bronzeville. Bronzeville is a hot spot for black arts and culture, basically a black metropolis, okay, on the south side of Chicago. And it's still there, so don't walk. Run to your history. Google is free. So next episode, will Tick and Letitia fucking Lewis ever find a bed to make love in? And what in the hell happened to the mom and the little girl coming home from the museum? Y'all didn't call, y'all didn't check up on them or nothing. I don't know. You guys, this is my favorite show of all time, and I will be here every single week for a new review. Black nerds unite! And if you're a designer, you're a black designer, I would love to wear your clothing because I'm trying to look as 1950s as possible. So please hit me up at theweavewhisperer@gmail.com and let's start a discussion in the comments. I love you so much for supporting and watching, and I'll see you next time.